All right. Thanks for joining in tonight. My name is Dee Corchin, and I am really excited to be sharing our upcoming health challenge, not only with Coaches Up for Change, which is my group, but also with all of Team Palace. That this is something we're going to be doing together, all in unison at the same time, but then be able to take advantage of our separate client groups in order to support our clients. And just real excited about the opportunity to make this available to all of us. We know that our goal is just to help as many people as possible, right? That's what's in our hearts. It's why we decided to become coaches. And so this is running a health challenge is just a really great way to be able to give us a purpose to market, to be able to call people for follow-ups, maybe re-engage existing clients. It's just a real opportunity to connect with more people. And here's the cool thing is that nothing really changes on your end. We'll go through the details and we'll talk about what it looks like, but it's really business as usual. Because for this particular health challenge, we are going to require that somebody become a client in order to participate. We just ran one back about a month or so ago, and we chose the option to see what we would get if we allowed people who wanted to follow any meal plan to participate and maybe just, be in our group. And we, kind of had that hope that if they saw everything, that they would want to become clients. But that didn't happen as quickly as we wanted. I think that probably a lot of those people will eventually become clients because we know that what we have is so superior and they're just probably not ready. But with so many people looking to build their businesses and also qualify for the ILAT trip, really wanted to do something that would really incentivize you and our potential clients to go ahead and make the decision and pull the plug. So before we go into really what it looks like and what the details are, basically why would we do this? Why would we market something that is, a back to you 4-week challenge, right? Because we know we're all about lifelong transformation. We're not a quick fix. We're not a short-term get in and get out kind of program. And so it's a little contrary to what we're really about. But what I have found, we've done a lot of this, different variations of it. I mean, I've been coaching a long time, so I've done variations through the Meltdown Challenge, the Health Games. We've done some focus groups. We've done similar things to what we're going to be launching for September 3rd. And but what I find is, we're working with the human population. We're working with humans, and we know it's lifelong transformation. We know that, but for some people, that's a big deal. That's a hard decision for some people to make. It can almost seem overwhelming. But if we can introduce something where we say, hey, you know what? Just come check it out. 4 weeks. Let's just go all in and check it out and see what's really possible. That's the way I talk about it. I'm like, listen, I just want you to come in, embrace it all. Embrace, our support groups, embrace the webinars that we have, embrace the education, embrace the eating plan, embrace it all. And I just want you to see what's possible. Now, we know when they do that, they become long-term clients. And in fact, maybe I'll have somebody who came in that way actually share their story. We know that they'll continue. They always do. But there's just something about being able to offer that they can just come in for 4 weeks. That is just it's a great marketing tool, if anything, just a great entry. So I wanted to see if Julie, before we go into details, if Julie Apple is on.
Yeah.
Julie, can you unmute if you're on?
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, there she is. Oh, you're good. You're on video.
Hey, guys.
So I thought Julie's been with us a long time and really has had some great success with the, focus groups or marketing, something like this. So I thought we'd have you share your perspective as a coach and what it's done for you.
Yeah, we had a couple probably last summer. We did one in the summertime, and then we did another one in the fall. And those were just absolutely awesome to help. I used it as a marketing tool, reaching out through Facebook. And I've always been pretty consistent on Facebook, but I used it as a way to stay in touch with people have people message you. You don't have to post on the page. You can just say, hey, message me if you want to be a part of this. And I've had so many people that I used to coach in boot camps, people that are family friends, people of friends, like just the most random people I never would have guessed, reach out to me. And it was because it was just a short-term group. They wanted to know more. That's exciting. There's a lot of other programs that do the same thing, but I think what people will find is we offer so much more. Like, taste of it, to realize, wow, this is awesome. So for me, just using social media was great. Emails to reach out to inactive clients and re-engage inactive clients. And what I did at Christmas time, I was absolutely blown away. We had something starting, I think, in January, and I just texted the image, which Dee will probably share in a minute, or what's on our page. I texted that to like my list of all the people I had talked to over the past year that hadn't started program. I had a huge wave of people that all wanted more information, and it literally started all this craziness with the new year. So if you can use it as a tool to reach out to people and just text it to them, say we have this kicking off in a few days, would you like to be a part? Let me know if you want to plan some time to talk. It is amazing who comes out of the woodwork. So use it to your benefit to reach out to people and re-engage with people.
Absolutely. Thank you, Julie. And we've had a lot of success with this. So I'm excited to roll it out. We chose September, and I love this back to you theme. It's kind of got a school chalkboard image. It's just really cool because we have just found in our industry, you might be a newer coach or whatever, and maybe not know the seasons of our business, but fall tends to be a really, really peak time that people are ready to re-engage with their health. You know, it could be existing clients, it could be new people, it could be yourself. But it's just a good opportunity after the summer and the lack of structure that people they embrace it, you know? So we chose, 4 weeks is a good window. We wanted to launch it right at the beginning of September, because what our real goal is that if somebody wants to join in, that they'll place their order this month in August in order to have it in time. So that's why we went ahead and chose it. So it's a little odd. We've got a actual start date on September 3rd, and which is Labor Day. And we've done this before with other health challenges. I've never really found it to be an obstacle at all, that it's a holiday. I think that Labor Day is kind of a little different than it was when we were kids, and that was the last hurrah weekend before, school started. Now, at least in the South, the school is in full blown and all that. But what I've done in those situations is that if somebody says, well, gosh, that's Labor Day, I don't think I want to start that day. I'm like, no problem. Start Tuesday. Let's go ahead and get your kit. Let's go ahead and get ordered and just start on Tuesday. No big deal, Or if somebody says, you know what, I don't want to wait till September 3rd, you're going to be talking to people, by all means, let them just get going. So I'm going to screen share. This is not the prettiest document to actually do as a screen share, but it's a great document I'm going to post in each of on Team Palace and in my coach page. It's a great resource document for you, but I'm going to go ahead and share it because it helps keep me on track, and we can go over some of the details of what this will look like. So here we go. So the name of this is, like I said, it's the 28-day. We're calling it the Back to You Challenge. And I will post the actual image in the Facebook groups that you can share, that you can use on social media for marketing, attach it to your emails, whatever you want to do with it. But this will be the image that goes out, that basically it's a Back to You Fall 28-day challenge. Recipes, one-to-one coaching, motivation, meal planning, nutrition tips, and prizes. And one thing that made the last one fun that we did, and we cover this for you, but we did some drawings in order to really encourage participation. We'll be doing daily posts, and so we do daily posts, which are highly interactive. The last one we did, they were just brilliant. The interaction that generated was crazy good in our site. Just everybody got energy level went up. But about once a week we'll do a drawing. We'll tell people post your results for week 1 or post your goal or whatever, and then everybody who posts, their name goes in a drawing. And then I did them as Facebook Lives, put all their names in a jar, draw one out, and give them $25 on cash on account off their next order, or a $25 Amazon card, whatever they want. So that's kind of fun. People like to win things, so it's just a way to jazz it up. But basically, the overview for it, it's a 28-day, it's a September health challenge, where you can invite your contacts. Just like Julie said, this is an opportunity to reach out to everybody that you know. So your current clients can participate. A lot of our clients, my clients, will re-engage, like, okay, this is it. I'm going to go back on 5 and 1, starting on this, 28 days. It's a target for them to go for in a time frame to get restructured. But your contacts, your connections, candidates, health coaches on your team, I encourage you to participate in it. We've all got something we could focus on with our health to take us to the next level. I love it, like Julie said, for my follow-ups, people that I've talked to over the past few years. It gives me a great reason to reach out. And if you've been coaching for a while, I have tremendous success with inactive clients re-engaging with something like this. So somebody maybe who's been off for a couple of years, this can be a great re-entry point for them as well. So we are requiring that they become a client. So if you're marketing this and sharing it, when somebody expresses interest, again, you're going to be talking about it in terms like, oh, it's just this great 28-day challenge. You get to see everything about our program, see what's possible for you. You're just committing for 1 month. But you will go through an actual health assessment with them. I mean, you're going to immediately flip it to the exact situation that we do with anybody who's looking at our program for the first time, and do a full health assessment with them. Full health assessment, identify what their goals are, share what Optavia is, and then they can determine if they want to be a part of it. And being a part of it does require that they embrace it all, including the eating plan. And I just say that's because that's the only way you're going to really see what's possible for yourself with us. Once they say yes, we'll put them into our Facebook groups. We'll put them into our Facebook groups, and that's where the primary communication will take place. So if you typically put your clients in Mod Squad, that's where your correspondence and your clients will be placed. And then if you're in Eat, Live, and Optavia, that's where you put your clients. That's where you will continue to put them. We decided not to do a separate group for this, because what it does is if we put them in our existing client groups, it generates the energy up for everybody. And so then all of your existing clients start answering the questions, and it just really helps engage everybody. But it's just an effective way you can for promoting it, just being able to engage people, enroll them, and promoting. We've talked about this before, and I've got a couple examples, but really something like this, what works best is a personal invitation to somebody. So, it could, I'm a big one for voice, calling people, leaving messages, got something great I think you're going to be interested in. Julie texted the image to people, said, hey, you might be interested in this, but really going that personal thing. We can do layering techniques. I call them layering. If you post it on Facebook, and if you send a grand email to people, a mass email, but really individually reaching out and inviting people. I find whether that's phone, text, private message, that's what gets people engaged. But just to kind of go over the specifics again, and this will be available to you, this document, was our start date will be September 3rd. You can start to market this. I'm going to have everything available as early as tomorrow. So you can start to market this as soon as you want. One thing that we did that was different, and I guess I'm going to back up for a second and let you know that pretty much anything I do with Optavia is something I've learned from somebody else. Like I don't create anything. I just pretty much replicate things. And I think that's the beauty of our business. So I saw another health coach that was in another organization that was doing this and doing them frequently and successfully. And I just basically asked him, like, can you just show me what you're doing, and can I copy it? And, he did. Like, that's what's so cool about what we do. But one of the things that they did for this, and we did it for our last one that was really cool, was they actually, one of the tools to market it was through a Facebook event. So I've got that event, and I'll have the link available. But it's actually a Facebook event that you can share online. You yourself will accept that you're going to participate, and then you'll be able to share it and use that as a way to personally invite people too. And then they can indicate if they're interested or if they want to participate. But I love the Facebook invite because it gives the opportunity for us to give a lot of information in it. So that's going to be something that's different. And that Facebook invite link will be here as well. And I'll also post it in our groups. But after you interview them, etc., when you get a yes, And you might do the assessment. They might need to think about it. You might need to do a lot of follow-up. You got to work it. A lot of follow-up, but hopefully you'll get their orders, their programs ordered before the last week in August, so that they'll have everything like the Friday before Labor Day. So I'm just going to stop for a second. I'm going to go through some more details, but I feel like I'm talking a lot, so I just want to give the opportunity for anybody to ask some questions so far. Yeah.
So, hi, everybody. So it's not a question, but I want to just say how great this does work, because Cindy Kramer, who just became a coach today, she got on here through Shed and Shred. And that was her.
We did.
Right. So that was her beginning. And that's just, and now she's a coach. So that's why this whole thing works. I just wanted to say so. Yay.
Well, that's fantastic. And our Shed and Shred was the month of June, right?
28th, I think. June 28th, maybe?
Yeah. So we started that like in June. So that's pretty cool that, now here it is August and she's a coach already. Right. So really shows the power of being able to market and reach more people. And we know most of our coaches come from clients. So that's a great story, Zena. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Dee, do you happen to know, you may have just said this, but what's the last day that I know that shipping, like my clients are not getting their orders very fast right now. So what's our window, do you think? Like here in, I think here in Texas, it's taking us a really long time to get shipments here. Do you guys have any, is that true for you in Atlanta too? Or are you getting them it's like at least 7. I think we had somebody who was almost 10 days before they got their order.
That's a really good point, Liz. And, because to me, this is a little bit early to start marketing it. I kind of almost like to just continue business as normal and do it closer to the date with the marketing and kind of that sense of urgency. But I just had something too, like I signed up a new client over the weekend, and her order just shipped today. It was about 3 days before it even shipped. So I would say, ideally, that if that's the case and we want them to receive their orders by August 31st, Karen's saying the orders are about 3 to 4 days to Atlanta. I'd say we'd probably want to be getting orders in probably no later than like Monday the 27th at the latest. But that alone gives you kind of a sense of urgency that you can talk to people about, don't you think?
Exactly.
Yeah, like we want to go ahead and get this in. But there's been, orders take 7 to 10 days, so let's just go ahead and make the decision. You'll have everything you need.
Yeah. Plus with the holiday, I think that's right. I think that helps jazz up a little bit, and I just don't want anybody to get surprised by that. So, thanks for that, and thanks for doing this. I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. And they can join late, like I think up until even up to the first week, they can go ahead and join in. Or let's say somebody orders, they decide on the 27th they want to do this and their order's not there yet. They can go ahead and start participating in the group. You could coach them on how to start eating 6 times a day, lean and green, with, things start scaling back, getting ready for it. But I think it's like they can come in even as late as the first week with it.
Dee?
Yeah, Molly.
Thank you so much for taking the lead and showing us all how to kind of create an energy around this that I think will be really helpful to a lot of people and a lot of potential clients and older clients that might want to re-engage. My question is, can you help me understand where content is coming from, and how do we involve ourselves in the prizes? Because certainly that shouldn't be coming out of one pocket. So can you help me understand that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the content will be a daily post. So here's what it'll look like. Somebody signs up, right? They get their program. You're going to coach them like you do always, right? So you're going to do the night, you can do the health assessment. We'll do the night before a call with them, the first 3 days, everything that we normally do, then into your weekly coaching. That's all business as usual. The difference will be in the actual Facebook group, there'll be a daily post. So it will actually say, back to you, health challenge, day 1. And then there'll be a post. I will take care of that. I will do the post. And basically what I'm doing is replicating what we've done before, that we know works. And they're very highly interactive posts with questions. Like it'll just be pretty short. One topic, there'll be kind of a theme for every week. The first week will be about goal setting, but it'll be an interactive question that's posted daily. So then you'll want to encourage your clients, your participants. Hey, did you see the daily post today? Did you comment? And then go ahead and participate yourself as well. And then as coaches, what we'll want to do is actually support, if your clients are posting, let's help each other out and reply to it. And because what I hate is when somebody comments and then nobody acknowledges it. So we'll just help to make that interactive. As far as the prizes, I think Susan and I will probably talk about that. Don't you think, Susan? There's about 4 of them. We usually do about 3 or 4 drawings, $25 each. But thank you for asking about that and possibly being a part of it.
Absolutely. Then can I just ask kind of a sidebar question? Is the content being driven through Cinduit?
No.
Thank you.
Hey, Dee, thanks. Echoing what everyone's saying, I just so appreciate you putting this together. And I've seen, can you share with us a little bit about how this is different than Cinduit and how this is different from the Meltdown Challenge? Because I have to say that I was an observer last time and I just saw the interaction. It was crazy. It was simple. It was easy. And I don't even know how you read all those comments because it just really engaged people. So I was quite impressed with Shed and Shred. So can you share with us how it's different?
Yeah, so the Meltdown Challenge, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that before. We've called them the health games. They're still available. They're still out there. That was run on a separate platform. So if somebody wanted to participate, it was a separate platform using a third-party vendor that was kind of created things for us. And people earn points for doing different readings every day and things like that. And so that was, and then they would have to agree that they were going to lose a certain percentage of body weight, or they were going to maintain, like they kind of had something like some standards they had to meet. They had to earn a certain amount of points and they had to meet their weight loss or maintenance goal. And then they could earn money at the end. They had to pay to enter it and earn money at the end, kind of similar to like a diet bet kind of thing. Then in the past, we did some focus groups. Cinduit is also a separate vendor that we had used in the past. Cinduit did something similar. I would say it was almost the same exact thing in terms of marketing and et cetera. But we had an option where we could actually automate that they would post for us in the group. And while I typically would love most things that Cinduit would do, they're marketing experts, I found their post a bit cumbersome. They were lengthy, they were long. Sometimes they had multiple questions on different topics in the same post. So I found that like day 1 through 4, everybody was fired up and would all answer them. But days after that, the participation would just plummet down. And I just felt it was a little bit too complex. What I loved about this, seriously, like 1 or 2 sentences. Like, tell us the best thing that happened to you today kind of thing. I mean, a little deeper than that. But basically just simple where somebody could quickly read it and then quickly respond. And super engaging. Susan, did anything in specific stand out to you? I mean, we had a huge amount of people, like 68 people respond like one day or 80 people one day to post.
Yeah, I just think what you're saying is so true. I was messaging Liz because we went through the Cinduit ones were so cumbersome and asked 4 questions. We went through one month and every single one we changed it, but these were so simple and real simple questions and people could answer them and they were engaging. I just really thought it was great.
And they were all a little bit different. Some will have an image with them, some won't. Some are just a post that you can do with a colored background, so it's really bold and it stands out. So it's just attention grabbing is what I guess the way to describe it, and engaging. Mm-hmm. All right, so let me just let's just go back to where we were and roll through this.
Yeah. Can I ask one question?
Oh, sorry.
Well, or just one more, Molly. Is that with the the prizes, because was there any more incentive, or was just kind of seeing what the month did for your, for your own personal growth? But the prizes, obviously, I guess it was, how did you even do the prize thing? I mean, would you just do all those comments and cut up pieces of paper?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's pretty old school. I mean, I did it really old school. I cut up a little piece of paper, wrote their names on them, put it in a jar, and then actually did live drawings, and people liked it. People, it was kind of fun. They were on, it's silly, but they liked it. And I felt like it seemed more authentic and legit, putting it, doing it that way. So yeah, and really, I'll be honest with you, in the past, we marketed pretty boldly. Like we would say, hey, lose 10 pounds and in a month, etc. Just with our new clinical studies, I'm not confident, even though honestly, I could probably off the record say, you know what, most people lose. I think we kind of come up with our average. People who did track it would lose 9 to 11 pounds. And I'll say stuff like that to people kind of off the record, but not necessarily post it out there. Does that make sense? But we've done a lot of these, but we know that that's typically what happens with a client if they're very compliant on the program.
Hey, Dee, one other quick follow-up.
Yes.
So when you during the challenge and with the content, you mentioned to Molly to go ahead and participate in that. So I just want to make sure that what you're saying is go ahead and we would put in our goals. We would participate like a participant in the challenge ourselves. Is that what you would prefer and like, as opposed to sitting back and waiting for other people to do it and then commenting on theirs? What's your preference?
I think a mix. I mean, if you're working on something, why not really, I think it's a great example for us to show our clients that we're constantly working. We're constantly looking to move forward. You don't have to. I say do what you're comfortable with, but why not? Why not be a player as well? I think that's a good way to even market it. Like when you're talking to people, like, hey, I'm doing it too. Summer's been kind of a rough summer. I'm cleaning things up, whatever. Or I'm working on my next level health. I'm going to use this as a tool to kind of keep me focused. You want to join me?
Great.
And
just
here's
want to make sure that, yeah.
And I think where you pick that up was something that I said, and I was going to go back to it, why it can be helpful. So I talked about using a Facebook event, right? So it's going to say it's an online health challenge. When people start to respond that they're interested and that they're going to the event, and if we all do that as coaches, and then your participants start to do it, the last one showed that 186 people were going. Now, not everybody signed up, but that gets people's attention. They start to see that, and they're like, people want to be a part of something. Like, whoa, wait, what is this that 180 people are participating in? Does that make sense? So if you do talk to people or whatever, just, say, hey, RSVP or, on the event, and I'll we'll schedule a phone call around it. Erin, did you have a question?
I did. So I love the fact, if I'm understanding this correctly, that the prizes are based on involvement, not necessarily meeting requirements like the other. I love that, because that way everyone can feel like they are included and no one is excluded.
Mm-hmm.
And I know personally for me, Liz, I love your question of are we supposed to participate and how do we, I'm always working on something, whether it's hydration or just making sure that I've got my healthy activity in line. Am I really getting it in? Am I really feeling my body every 2 to 3 hours? Like we coach all the time. Am I really doing it? So I'm always working on something. One more question, if I could. And I came in a couple minutes late, so I could have missed this, but is this really geared towards new clients or for those existing that we have on board that are just getting back through their summer also and just working on refocusing, making that decision like we've talked about in some of our training or coaching the last few weeks? Is this for them too, for those who are already existing? And then how do you invite them in? Is it any different?
So it is open to everybody. We are really doing it as a client acquisition tool. Honestly, it's a client acquisition tool to help people acquire new clients, because we'll talk about in a second, it just gives you a reason to call people, but it also gives you a reason to reach out to your inactives. And then it also gives you we all have people that are struggling, right? Like people that it's just part of a journey. So if they can participate in this and if it helps them re-engage, that's a win. right? It's a win for them. So absolutely, anybody could just. So we'll also post it in each of the Mod Squad and the both Facebook groups. The client groups, we'll post it in there like, hey guys, we're excited about this. Gonna have lots of people joining us with the health challenge. Do you want to join in? And they will. They'll, and because we don't want them to be surprised when they start seeing all the post and activity as well. So like I said, it fires things up in those groups. It's awesome.
I need a personal assistant.
All the work's done. To me, I feel like this is so simple from a coach perspective, because you just get to take what's there and just go market, just go talk to people, just share, right? We just get to share, and then put them in the group. Yay, all the work is done, right?
I have a suggestion too.
Yeah.
Thinking about marketing this. I have a lot of clients who get noticed, right? And aren't quite ready yet to maybe either consider coaching, maybe they're starting to refer. So this would be a great way to reach out to clients that are on board and say, hey, you kind of mentioned that your sister-in-law is interested in what you're doing. Maybe this would be an easy way to have her explore it. What do you think? Do you want to invite her to join us? Okay,
Brilliant. Yeah, that's one point I failed to say when I was sharing about posting it in our group, is that we want to go out to our current clients and say, hey, here's a tool. There's people on your heart that you'd love to help. Here's a tool. Help us spread the word about it. This is a great way for your friends and family to connect. Then when you do your weekly calls with them, with your clients, hey, are you going to participate in the Back to You challenge? Got anybody that wants to do it with you? And even just like we do on the health assessment, a new client, and we say, is there anybody who would want to get healthy with you? Hey, anybody who might want to do this health challenge with you? All right, well, let's roll along. We've covered most of this. So the two different Facebook groups, you're going to use your normal client group that you typically use. So if you typically put yours in Mod Squad, they go in there. If you typically put them in Eat, Live, and Be Optavia, they go there. We'll have the same daily post in both. The posts happen early, 7 o'clock in the morning and sometimes even earlier, just depends how early I am up, because I can't automate that. So, but those posts will go in and they can start replying, because there's some people that check Facebook early and some later in the day. And there's some information here. I encourage you to keep track of what you're doing, keep track of who you've invited, circle back to them, follow up. Did you get my message? Did you want to participate? I also encourage you to keep track of your participants as well. Keep a list of who starts, who finishes, what was their average weight loss? Was it an existing client that re-engaged? Was it a new client? Because that'll help you even individually get excited about it the next time we do one, and you'll have even your own statistics to be able to share. And I would love for you to do that and share them with me, because I love to be able to go back and say, hey, last time we did one, average weight loss was 9 to 11 pounds, whatever it was. There's a couple examples. I'm not going to necessarily read through them. There's actually a couple sample text that you could send to somebody. You could send the image with a sample text. Hey, I thought you might be interested in this, or a sample private message. Or if you choose, you can create your own mass email to people, and you can use Optavia Share for that if you want. And this is a great document because it's actually got links in it, hyperlinks that you can use with it. So, social media is great. I just want to remind you, I think a lot of times we just kind of tend to throw it out there. Like, let me just keep throwing it out on social media, throw it out. But what will really, really generate the activity for you and the people that say yes is those people that have been on your heart, that you're, or the ones you're following up with, or who like your post, who always like your posts, And I just talked earlier so there, like I said, I'm just going to let you guys read this. I'll post it, but there's great things about how you can spread the word about it, and follow up, and then the day before. So, and just remember, if somebody says, what I love about this is it just gives us another reason to reach out to people, another touch. We know that people are often not ready. They might be going on a trip in September. It's not their time, but they may say to you, hey, tell me about the next one, or something like that. So it gives us the opportunity that we can then have somebody else possibly on our follow-up. list. So before we close out, I wanted to have Carol Telasalo speak, because Carol entered through one of these health games, so maybe, or health challenges. So Carol, if you'll unmute yourself and maybe share how you learned about this, because that can be a tip for somebody, and then maybe your experience, and then what we talked about today, how you can use this as a tool to reach out.
Sure. Yeah, this will actually be about a year anniversary for me, because it was last September from a group just like this is why I started. And I found out about it from a flyer that was on a table at work.
That my husband put. So my husband took flyers to work and left them in the break room.
Yeah.
In the lunchroom.
Yeah, there was nobody in the break room, and it just happened to be at a time when I was at my worst low, and I won't go into the whole story, but just was fed up, had given up, and then there was a flyer there talking about a 28-day focus group challenge, try whatever. I thought, well, what the heck, one more try. We'll do one more try. And I didn't know Dee. I knew Larry from work, but I didn't know him well. But I just called the number on there, and it's always the joke. I was the easiest call she's ever had. I said, just sign me up.
She's like, I think I want to coach too, like all in the same call. I'm like, oh my God, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I have a chaplaincy background, so when I heard about the coaching, I said, oh, that's perfect. Yeah, but I was thinking I would do that by about now, after I had lost all my weight. But after a month in, a coworker wanted me to coach, and so I got in after a month. But it is a great tool to offer, to be able to say, it's just 28 days, try it. If you don't like it, get out. But
and did that make a difference to you? Like when you saw that, like, did that make a difference to you? Like, I could do that for 28 days.
Yeah, it made a huge difference. And to know others were doing it at the same time, I can maybe blend in and people wouldn't notice me. It's that other thing, you're not by yourself. It's a group, and yet it's something. And I had heard through work that something had worked for people in the past, but I didn't know anything about it. And then I also wanted to share that it was also starting at the exact same time I was going to 3 Braves games in a row, and I knew I was not going to start during that time. So I started the end of that first week. So you don't have to start right at the beginning. So I know we want to try to get everybody in, but I even wanted to share that. Don't not continue sharing it with people if you know you've missed, well, they're not going to have it in time to start on the 3rd. That doesn't matter. I got in and just started, I called up when I got there in about the 4th day or whatever. So
I don't know if you guys can read Courtney's comment. This just like my heart wants to explode. So Carol is just like such the ideal of what's possible with Optavia. Like somebody who just came in thinking, let me just blend into the background. And Carol, you just had such a tremendous, if you're going to come this weekend, you'll get to see Carol. But Carol just had this tremendous transformation, and just was rocking the cutest pantsuit ever at convention. So something you probably wouldn't have seen yourself doing. So that's what I love.
No, I would not have been doing. No.
That's what I love about what we do, is that, we're going out, we're touching people, we're reaching people. This is another tool that you never know. You might put that flyer on somebody's desk and you're going to have Carol, pick up the phone and call you. So Carol, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, because I think this is what matters. That's a really, really good example of what matters. So Carol, we talked today about, Carol is going to be on that boat with us. And so we were just talking about, how do you reach out to people? And, if the candidate list is not real long, what do you do? And so what did we talk about today, Carol, that you thought, well, I could do that?
Well, this is a good marketing tool to be able to bring in the personal side of it, of how this is how I got in, and be able to, it's non-threatening, and it's not going to them as because they look overweight. It's a nice challenge to get healthy. I'm not sure if I'm catching exactly what we talked about, but like, I don't have a lot of phone numbers. So, because and I haven't had a lot of friends since college and stuff. I just got into work and just kind of let things slide. So, but this is a way through Facebook that I have building them back up, that I can do a quick message thing, say, hey, I got a question for you. I've had you on my mind. can you, I don't have your phone number. Can you shoot me your phone number? And by doing that, not only then I can then tell them about this, but then now I finally have their phone number again and can have that in the future. So.
It just gives you a reason. What I love about it is it's so non-threatening. Like Erin said, there's always something somebody can work on with their health. So I think it's just a great way, especially if you're a new coach. You know, sometimes we're like, okay, how do I reach to people, or how do I call people? What would I say? And you can just use this like, hey, you know, I don't know if you know that I'm a health coach. You know, if you've got a story, share your story, you know, but, you know, I'm a health coach. We just got this great thing coming up for the month of September. So many people are looking to get better on track with their health. I'm just spreading the word, just sharing this. I don't know if you're interested, but you might know somebody, right? So it's got you in action. You're reaching out to people, and, you know, you'll get good things from that. So I know this has run long. I apologize for the length of it. I don't want to close out if anybody's got any burning questions. We can take a minute for that. I will post that document in there. I will post the image. I will post the Facebook group link. All of that will be in tomorrow. You can start marketing as soon as you want, and then post all your questions in there. Just post it there, and we'll respond publicly so everybody can, you know, can see. Are you guys excited? Yes? Good. Questions before we say goodbye?
Super excited, Dee. Thanks so much.
You bet. You bet. It's my pleasure. Let's go kill it. Let's go help a lot of people. That was a bad word to use. Let's go rock it and help a lot of people. Thanks, you guys.